East Stroudsburg University men's basketball with head coach Jeff Wilson. And Coach, you've been on the road for a couple weeks. You're back at home with 2 games this week. Let's just first take a look at where you are at this point of the season at 13-2 overall and winning 7 straight games. I'm sure you're feeling optimistic about where you're at this point of the season.
Yeah, very happy with where we're at. Put ourselves in a good position. And when you come out of the West crossover games, you're hoping to, on a given year, to be anywhere 4-4 or better. To be very honest with you, because that will put you in position to get a playoff berth. This year, we were fortunate enough to come out 7-1 against the Western Conference opponents, so that puts us in a very good position here entering the East. And now we've had 2 more road games recently against Mansfield University and Kutztown University this past week, and we're fortunate enough to go 2-0 in that, so it's put us in pretty good position right now.
At this point, having played 11 conference games, you're 10-1 in those games and 7-0 on the road. And going back to the last 2 road games, the 2 true road games against conference teams, and the last season in the quarterfinals at Kutztown, and the final at Westchester, you won 9 games straight on the road against conference teams. That's the most in school history. Where do you gauge that as far as the accomplishments of this year's team at this point?
Well, it's the only accomplishment we have so far, which is a good thing. And like I said before, it put us in good position to hopefully accomplish something great at the end of the year. And we have 11 conference games left, so right now we're only halfway through our conference schedule. It's very important for us to come out here with the same attention to detail and be able to finish the conference season strong. Right now, when you look at the eastern part of the conference, Westchester and Millersville are both playing extremely well. There's some other teams in that mix that are vying for playoff positions. With the expanded role of the PSAC playoff format this year with 6 teams making it from the East, there's nobody that's out of the playoff picture. So every game, somebody, whether it's the top of the schedule or the top of the standings or at the bottom of the standings, are going to be fighting for a playoff position or fighting to get into the playoffs. So going into every game that you're going to get somebody's best game because there are playoff ramifications on the line.
As you're into the Eastern Division schedule now, obviously there are really no secrets within divisional play. The other coaches across the conference have seen how you play. But how do you feel like your style's held up at this point of the season and where you guys are at physically and mentally?
Style's held up well, and that's been the biggest reason for the record being what it is. We've won with our pressure defense, we've run with our running style, and have gotten some easy baskets out of our defensive transition. So that's the reason we are where we're at. Physically, we're a little beat up, to be honest. Coming out of the Western Conference games and some of the travel that we've had. Gerald Bridges has missed the last 2 games, so we've had a starter out of the lineup. Zach Runkle's filled in very well for him in that role. Blair Ramsey's, I think, playing on half an ankle. He keeps turning that every day in practice or a game, so it seems like every day he's out there, he turns something. The best part about it is we've gotten some very good contributions off of our bench. I mentioned Zach Runkle. Some of the younger guys are also starting to contribute. DeJohn Todman had a career night at Kutztown, 18 points. Played very well with Terrence King in foul trouble. Malcolm Richardson started to get into the rotation here a little bit more with Blair being out. He's performed well in the time that he's gotten. And Wes Cherry, another freshman, he's started to play some minutes here as of late, which is good for our overall development, not only as a program but also for this year's team.
As you look at the overall conference statistics, obviously winning 7 straight and 11 out of 12, things start to kind of even out. But as of a couple weeks ago, really the only category we were kind of top 2 or 3 in the conference was in turnover margin, and that was number 1 by a pretty wide margin. Obviously, being able to take away and also protect the basketball has been pretty key.
Yeah, we've gotten, when you look at some of the guys that are in the lineups, Matt Tobin, he's been a 1-2 since he's been here. Wisgrant he's a 2-guard, but he actually handles the ball very well. Dwayne's always protected it well. And then the guys that you come off the bench with, Blair Ramsey has a positive assist-to-turnover ratio, and Zach Runkle's been much more productive in some of the roles he's been in this year. So we've gotten good production from guys. being able to turn people over at the defensive end, and like you said, be able to convert some of those, that helps your assist to turnover ratio too when you're playing in the open floor a little bit off turnovers. And you can have an open floor situation, get some 2-on-1s, 3-on-2s. It typically cultivates itself into some easy baskets, so that's helped our assist to turnover ratio.
One of the hallmarks of your teams has really been balance on the offensive end. Again, this year you've got 3 guys, Wiss at 17, Dwayne at 14, and Terrence about 13. Talk about those 3 guys in general, and then the run that Wiss Grant scoring the ball has been on in particular.
Yeah, those 3 guys have obviously, and at one point or another this year, each of them have been Easter Player of the Week. So you have 3 guys that are capable of having that type of output, which is good for the program. You're not relying on one guy. So I think it makes us a little bit harder to scout when you have 3 guys that can really put the ball in the basket. And then, like I said, on a given night, DeJohn Todman just came off a night where he had 18. So you have other guys off the bench that are also very capable. Dwayne and Terrence have done it for the bulk of their career. When you look at where they're going to end up in East Stroudsburg history, both of them have a chance to be in the top 10 depending on how they finish out their careers. So you have 2 proven scorers there that have done it over time. Wiss Grant led us in scoring as a freshman, and the last 4-game tear that he's been on is as good as any that I've had as a head coach, 28, 28, 29, and 18. So he's a guy that can really put the ball in the basket, and he's doing it at a very good pace right now.
You've gone through most of your roster, more guys have contributed. Somebody on your coaching staff who doesn't usually get a lot of credit and is kind of behind the scenes but with you for 11 years is Justin Potts. Just talk about what he's done for your program, and especially recruiting these guys and be able to get the classes of the Dwaynes and Terrences and now DeJohn, Wes Cherry, Malcolm Richardson, and putting these guys together in particular groups.
Well, the first thing he's done for us is add stability. When you have an assistant with you for 11 years, it's like having 2 head coaches. And obviously he's very capable, and hopefully in the very near future he'll get an opportunity to be his own boss. That's obviously what he's looking for, and we're looking for him to have. He's our recruiting coordinator, does a great job getting out, making contacts with AAU coaches, high school coaches, works extremely hard at bringing talent into the program. And when you look at trying to put together a program and being able to supplement talent on a given year, you need to have a guy that's proven to be out there, that people know that they can call. He's developed a network of people now that actually call him to help us as well. So he's invaluable as an assistant. Again, with having him here 11 years, it's somebody that all the players know, all the alumni know, people around campus know. So when you're in any phase of your game as a program, you have a very reliable person there to turn to, and that's a huge reason for our success.
The Warriors with home games this week against Millersville and Shippensburg, then back on the road for 2 more. And Warriors with a big stretch coming up, obviously 11 conference games remaining. So, Coach Wilson, thank you for your time, and best of luck.
Thank you.